Hello, my name is Jenna Grace Steinbeck. My Beyonce, my project today is on Beyonce Knowles Carter. So Beyonce, Bey, Queen Bee, Sasha Fierce. This legend is known by many names, but what we can all call her is a star. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay. Beyonce Giselle Knowles was born in 1981 in Houston, Texas. Her father is of African descent and her mother is of Louisiana Creole descent. Beyonce has one sister who's also a singer and songwriter named Solange. Beyonce grew up singing and dancing, often being the only Black girl there. She competed in dance and song, and she would look around and she knew she was different, all just at the age of 7. She knew she had to work harder than the white girls if she wanted to win. Beyonce didn't gain her fame overnight. At age 9, she started the group that would later become Destiny's Child. It was called Girls' Time back then, and they ended up on the show Star Search. They lost on the show Star Search. So Beyonce didn't find her success immediately. But by age 11, that was when they lost on Star Search. It was just a few years later that they got a record deal. But then the group was dropped before the record deal even produced an album. So all these setbacks didn't stop Beyonce. Destiny's Child was then signed to Columbia Records, where they released 3 albums with many hits before Beyonce would release her solo album in 2003. And in between all of this, Beyonce made her big screen debut in Austin Powers in Goldmember, proving that her talents don't just end at singing and dancing. Beyonce was defeating the odds, rising to stardom, and becoming probably the most popular Black woman in America. Later, she married Jay-Z, and yeah. After her marriage to Jay-Z, Beyonce went to release 2 more hit albums before the 2010 Grammys, where Beyonce broke records for the most awards for a female artist and won 6 Grammys that night. Beyonce, of course, released another album and then had the honor of singing to President Obama and his wife in 2009. At the inaugural ball, Bey just didn't perform at one Super Bowl show in 2013, but she returned for the 50th in 2016 because her 2013 performance was so good. Everybody needed her there for the 50th. The 50th was this big thing. Everybody was talking about it and how they're like, what star are they going to find for the 50th? They've already gotten Beyonce, and she's as big as can be. Who can they get that's bigger? Who's bigger than Beyonce? Beyonce again. That's the only thing. Beyonce later had her daughter Blue Ivy with Jay-Z in 2012, and then a pair of twins, Rumi and Sir, in 2017. Since having children, Beyonce is not hidden from the spotlight. She keeps her children private, especially Rumi and Sir. But she went back almost immediately to performing, making music, and being in other movies and other sources of media. Some of the things that Beyonce has accomplished is she is the female with the most Grammys. She's the first Black woman to headline Coachella, and she headlined Coachella only 4 months after giving birth. Um, in She has her place in history already, being the female with the most Grammys. But even after her performance at Coachella, I still hear the phrase Baychella a few times a year. She performed it at Coachella in 2018, yet still years later, I'm still hearing about it, probably multiple times a year. The performance took place about 4 months after Beyonce gave birth to Rumi and Sir, which is probably the most legendary step back post birth to ever happen. Beyonce's performance was also documented in a movie called Homecoming, where she states in the movie, she called it homecoming because she was coming back to the stage, and the stage is where she felt at home. So it was her coming home. It was her being where she belongs because she is made for the stage, and the stage loves her back. It's a very inspirational film. It portrays Black excellence, not only about Beyonce, but all the other Black performers. So she got all Black dancers, all Black like instrument players, all like just everybody to give the opportunity to her community that has been previously taken away. So, in an interview with Vogue, Beyonce said, I recently researched my ancestry and recently learned that I come from a slave owner who fell in love with and married a slave. She also states earlier in this interview that connecting to the past and knowing our history makes us both bruised and beautiful. Beyonce connected to her past and she knows she is not who America thinks a Black woman is. She is the new definition. She is the, I'm gonna quote probably her newest album, which is Renaissance. She's the Renaissance of the Black community, bringing it back, lifting it up where it may not have been before. In her documentary, she uses many historical quotes that are used to describe her performance. Uh, the one that resonated with me the most was the most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected woman in America is the Black woman. And the most neglected person in America is the Black woman. And that's all by Malcolm X. That artistic choice, Beyonce knew what she was doing using those quotes. She knew the story that she was laying out for everybody. She wanted to show everyone that I am someone who's supposed to be disrespected. I'm someone who is supposed to be neglected, unprotected, and just not well treated. But look at me. I am Queen Bee, Queen Bey. I'm the headline of this show. I'm the one in charge. And it turns the page for Black women. It it really shows we are not who we used to be, but we are who we are now. I think she was also shining a light on America and calling them out for treating Black women the exact same ways that they did in the 60s and telling America, hey, it's time to change. It's time to stop treating women this way and start lifting and empowering. Beyonce's legacy, I think, will have no issue carrying on through generations. She's an icon that multiple generations already enjoy, and I believe in the future she will live on. Beyonce's many hit albums will definitely live on and hit singles. It's just one way for her mark. But she's a triple threat. She dances too. So all of those music videos, they're already legendary. The Single Ladies dance is a dance that happens at every single wedding. She is secured. And then after that, there's also all of her films. She was in The Pink Panther, Austin Powers, Dreamgirls, and even The Lion King. She was in a movie that shaped an entire generation's childhood, playing the probably one of the most graceful characters Disney's ever made. She also released her own story, Homecoming, And then later she released a visual album, Black is King, where she portrays empowering, again, Black women, Black men, and lifting them up and showing them, hey, we're not who we don't need to be put down anymore. We will rise up against the ones putting us down. I think she's truly an inspiration to others. She's an inspiration to me, and her legacy would have no issue living on. And yeah, that's the end. Thank you.